Okay. Hello YouTube. This is going to be my take or my how-to on polishing, improving the HIGHPOINT C9 9mm firearm pistol. First off, before we get started, if you have no experience with polishing or using a Dremel tool whatsoever, if you're not very mechanically inclined, you need to stop, because you do not want to get in here with a Dremel tool, because you can definitely cause a lot more problems than you're going to try to fix. So if you don't have any experience, get experienced or practice or whatever. But yeah, this is probably not the video for you, or you want to do it with just sandpaper. I do a lot of tinkering, so to me it made sense to do it with the Dremel tool and some sandpaper. I've already taken the video quality is not going to be the best, so just bear with me. I've already taken the gun apart. I've done a little mess around with some Sharpies, and I'm going to take all that off, but pretty much got it stripped. It does have a light coating of oil on it. Before we get started, you may want to, well, let's just say what you'll need. I'm using if you're going to use a Dremel tool, I'm using just a standard controlled speed Dremel tool. What's unique about this is I'm using these little scuff pads that you can get. It's almost kind of like a steel wool, but it's not steel wool. It's made of a heavy-duty kind of fabric. And doing this, it does shed a lot, so you need to be careful. Because it will shed, and you might want to throw some safety glasses on. And if you're sensitive to things like cleaning stuff for guns or oil or anything, you may want to wear gloves. But as I've done this too much, I'm pretty much immune to any type of solvent or anything known to man. So I'm using this Dremel tool in a variety of sandpapers, but we'll get to that here in just a second. You want to, there we go, that's a better picture. Okay, you want to get a pretty sturdy place to work with, and I'm using a microfiber towel. Yeah, don't ever try to clean or maintain with paper towels or old rags, because what they can do is they can leave lint or stuff down in here, and you don't want that. Yeah, microfiber, it cleans well. They're pretty cheap now, so yeah. So use that. Now, some part in the video I'm gonna have to set this camera up to my left, and there's gonna be quite a bit of junk in the floor, so yeah, just overlook it. But the problem I had pretty much was with the magazines, and this is already taken apart, so if you need instructions on field stripping or disassembling this gun, I'm sure you can find it on another video. But I've already got it to where I need to work on it with. But if if you know anything about HIGHPOINTs, first thing that comes to mind is the cheap throwaway guns or whatever, and to me that's just not the case. I've owned two 380s, and this is my first 9mm, and really this is the first gun that I've ever had any problems with. And the problem that I was having was I was getting the kind of nosedive and the failure to feed and jamming really badly. So I went and done I don't have a magazine with me, but I went ahead and straightened out the magazines and took the curve out so it fed a little better, but still it didn't address the issue about the failure to feed. And one of the problems is, I've come to the conclusion, is the material that they've used to paint the barrel, they've also painted some of the insides with, and it's not a paint per se, it's more almost lines of a powder coat, some type of like plasticized things. And with hollow points or certain type of ammo, it can easily get friction and you know, cause your failure there. So this is just a quick how-to on, you know, getting that off and making the surfaces that connect to make the bullet feed and eject, so you don't have those problems. Now what I'm going to do, not in this video but eventually, see, I'm going to go in through here, and any place that this metal on metal is contacted with, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make it pretty smooth, so as to make this really let's scoot this over, as to make it a lot smoother than it is. High points are not junk. Look, it's a $200 gun. It's not a Glock, but for those with a budget or someone who just, you know, doesn't want to pay $600 for a Glock or Smith & Wesson or whatever, this is a real viable option. So they're not bad firearms, but they're just not quality made as you know, H&K or Glock or you know, any of those. So I love firearms, but I like high points. I like the carbines. They're well made, but some of them do have issues, and let's see if we can address some of these issues right now. So I've already got some gun cleaner. I think it's let me see what it is. I went ahead and cleaned it a little bit with some gun cleaner. I think I like to use the CLP just to kind of get some of the, you know, soot and whatever out of there. So it's, you know, it's fairly straightforward. What you're going to do is you want to remove this material, and then with some type of oil, because you don't want to use water, you're going to take sandpaper and make this as smooth as possible. So let me just give you an idea about how you're going to do that. Okay, bear with me. Noise might be a problem here. So as you can see, I've already done this side. And that's what you want. Nice and shiny. So I'm going to show you on this side, and we'll do the feed ramp as well, on how that's accomplished. Excuse me. It's hard to work with no camera person, but the budget won't allocate it. So, alright. First thing you want to do is just get you a little bit of oil, because you don't want heat. Get a little bit of oil on there. I'm using a all-purpose motor oil and motor and bearing assembly oil. So you'll see, you know, with using a Dremel tool or rotary tool, it makes taking that powder coat or whatever off and to the metal a lot easier. And you know, that's what we're kind of looking for. So once I do the rough and get it pretty much, you know, all the rough metal, that's when I'll do the sandpaper. Now with this, I started with, after I got it, you know, how I wanted it, I started with I think 600 grit with oil, 600 grit, worked my way to 800 grit, then to 1,000 grit, then to 1,500 grit. And I even went overboard and went to 4,000 grit and on up to 8,000 grit. So I mean, it's, you know, it's pretty smooth, and that's kind of the way that you want it to. Still got a little work to do here on the feed ramp, but you want to get that right there as smooth as possible. You can cut off little pieces of sandpaper, roll them up, but you always want to go, you know, 6, 8, 1,000, 1,500. You know, always want to do it like that, and don't skip any, because what that'll do, it'll just make it a lot smoother, and take away the scratches from the previous grit. Alright. So that's with just a second, you know, with the Dremel tool. And after you get that all down, and then you go through your sandpaper sandpaper routine, excuse me, then that's what you're going to end up with right there. And that's going to make it, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it anywhere where the slide contacts metal and metal. It's going to be smooth like that. So hope this helps somewhat. Also with the, I'm going to do what I've partially done is the little follower right here. Man, it just slides up and down in there just awesomely. So we won't have any more problems with any jams on this thing. So that's what you got to do. So you can like the video, you can comment on the video, you know, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to go ahead and get to work doing the rest of this inside here, get off what I can with the rotary tool, and the rest do it with sandpaper. And after that, I'm going to make sure it's got a really nice thin coat of oil, and as you should do with any firearm, you know, keep it oiled, because this being exposed to the elements now, air or whatever, potential for rust is a lot better. But you know, if you maintain your firearm, then you won't have any problems. Okay, thanks. Bye.